The summer of 1994 weighed heavy on the Vaughn family as they traversed the desolate road of Bodie. Mia's urgent plea interrupted the stifling silence inside the car. "Hun, stop at the nearest gas station. I have to use it," she implored, her voice tinged with urgency. Trent nodded, his brow furrowing with concern as he glanced at their children, Trenton and Malala, in the back seat. He maneuvered the vehicle towards the nearest gas station, a lone outpost in the vast wilderness. As they pulled into the deserted lot, Mia's unease grew palpable, a sense of foreboding settling over her like a heavy fog. She stepped out of the car, the dry heat of the summer sun bearing down on her. With hesitant steps, Mia made her way towards the dimly lit convenience store, her senses on high alert. The air was heavy with an eerie stillness, broken only by the distant howl of the wind. After Mia braved the grimy restroom, Trent took charge of refueling the car. As he approached the counter to pay for the gas, he called out, "Hello, anyone here?" As Trent approached the counter to pay for the gas, a sinister-looking old man emerged from a back room, his presence casting a chilling aura over the dimly lit convenience store. With a predatory glint in his eyes, the old man fixed his gaze on Trent and asked in a gravelly voice, "You all on a trip?" Trent, taken aback by the old man's unsettling demeanor, replied cautiously, "Yes, we're headed to Gardnerville Ranchos." A sly grin crept across the old man's face as he leaned in closer, his eyes gleaming with an eerie intensity. "Ah, Gardnerville. I know a shortcut to that place. Just 20 miles up, you take Sweetwater's Road," he said, his words dripping with a sense of foreboding. Trent's heart pounded with a mixture of apprehension and relief as he listened to the old man's response. "Is there a hotel somewhere that me and my family can stay?" he asked, his voice betraying his unease. The old man's sly grin widened, sending a shiver down Trent's spine. Yes, near Bridgeport. You can't miss it," he replied, his tone laced with an unsettling hint of menace. Trent's grip on the steering wheel tightened as he thanked the old man and quickly made his way back to the car. As they pulled away from the gas station, his mind raced with conflicting emotions. On one hand, the promise of a nearby hotel offered a glimmer of hope amidst the encroaching darkness of Bodie. But on the other hand, the old man's sinister demeanor and foreboding words filled him with a sense of dread. As they continued their journey down the desolate road, Trent couldn't shake the feeling that they were being led into a trap, that the hotel near Bridgeport was nothing more than a facade hiding something far more sinister. But with no other options available to them, Trent pressed on, his determination to protect his family outweighing his growing sense of unease. Little did he know that their encounter with the old man was just the beginning of a nightmare that would test their courage and resilience in ways they never imagined possible. As the Vaughn family's car rumbled down the desolate road, fatigue settled heavy upon them. Mia's head nodded with exhaustion, and Trent's eyelids drooped as he navigated the winding path ahead. In the back seat, Trenton and Malala fought to stay awake, the day's events weighing heavily on their young minds. Suddenly, a jolt rocked the car, causing Malala to scream out in panic. "Dad, what's happening?" she cried, her voice trembling with fear. Trent's heart clenched at his daughter's distress, and he reached out to comfort her. "It's nothing, darling. Just a flat tire," he reassured, his voice steady despite the unease gnawing at him. With a heavy sigh, Trent pulled the car to the side of the road, the sense of vulnerability amplified by the darkness that surrounded them. As he retrieved the spare tire from the trunk and began the arduous task of changing it, the rest of the family stood outside the car, their nerves on edge. Malala, seeking solace in Max's comforting presence, took him for a short walk to relieve himself. But as they neared a patch of tall bushes, Max's demeanor shifted, his hackles rising as he let out a series of sharp barks. She tightened her grip on Max's leash, trying desperately to calm him down. "Shh, Max, it's okay," she whispered, her voice trembling with fear. "Good boy, it's okay." But Max's growls persisted, his instincts telling him that something was amiss. He strained against the leash, his gaze fixed on the bushes where the unseen danger lurked. Malala's hands shook as she glanced back at her family, her eyes wide with alarm. "Dad, Max won't stop barking," she called out, her voice quivering with uncertainty. Trent, his senses on high alert, glanced up from his task and scanned the area, his heart pounding with apprehension. "Stay close, Malala," he instructed, his voice firm as he continued to work on the tire. Be continued, The Bodie Massacre.